Original no be parody. You know, fit clear for your memory. But then I winter or summer.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, welcome to Double9radio. Apologies, Des. Yes, we're running a bit behind schedule. As you know, technology can be a challenge. Sometimes it's quite unavoidable. But we are here and we're going live. We got our amazing pastor in the studio here with us today. If you're not watching us live on YouTube, you should be watching us live on YouTube as well. All you need to do is just search for Double9radio on one word and you would find us right there and there as well. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's tuned in already at the moment and watching us from wherever you are. We're happy to have you here. As you know, the show is always interactive, so you can always be part of the show on 074 956 36899. That's 074 956 36899. Listen, listen, listen. It's going to be a packed one. It is amazing. It is wonderful. It is. It is Sunday. It's kind of expressing Sunday, as we know. I love it. I love it as well. It's a Father's Day, and you know what? What can we do? We thought to bring an amazing person who's always been on the show before. It's his first time in the studio here as well. But we're glad to have him with us. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. How are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me, Double Nine. How are you today?
I am so excited. I do apologize. He came to the studio right on time. It was my fault. It was my fault. What can I say? It's one of those things. It's technology. Blame on technology. Hello, sir. So thank you for coming into the studio today. It's amazing to have you here on the show.
Absolutely.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day, Double Nine. I'm excited to be here.
Fantastic,
Happy Father's Day
fantastic.
to all the wonderful fathers all over the world.
Yes, happy Father's Day to every amazing father out there as well. And also, do you know what? I always like to also mention the women out there as well who take the role of a father. I think we'll be touching on that. So happy Father's Day to the amazing women out there as well. Always a pleasure to wish you happy birthday, Father's Day. But you know what? The thing is, do men get wished Happy Mother's Day? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so as well.
It's rare for any man to be wished happy uh, Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
There are
Day.
more women who are taking on the father role
Right.
than the other direction.
Than the other direction.
It's generally rare to have that kind of you know, parity. It's rare.
It's rare. Okay, fantastic. You heard it there for our amazing pastor. I'm just going to introduce him. It's Pastor David Abodunri as well of the Apex, wonderful, amazing group. You should follow them on YouTube as well. All you need to do just search for Apex on YouTube. That's APEX, the
Apostolic prophetic encounters for excellence.
Apostolic encounters for excellence. Trust me, once you join that, there's always a prayer session which goes on every night. That's 12:30 GMT as well. You should tune in. That you can tune in live on YouTube, and also you can possibly join the Zoom as well. But the details are on the YouTube channel. That's the Apex Amazing Prayer Line, which takes place every night. Yeah, on YouTube or on Zoom as well. Again, so welcome to the show. It's always amazing to have you on the show. I hope you're enjoying the sun, and I love your attire. I love your attire today. You're looking amazing.
I decided to be authentically African.
Amazing. I love it. I feel underdressed. Ladies and gentlemen, Domino feels a bit underdressed today. What can I say? Maybe next time I will endeavor to copy our amazing man of God. Again,
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. So today we're talking about what is the role of a father. You know what? It's Father's Day, and we think, you know what, we need to, dive into that a bit because a lot of people, possibly think once you have a child, makes you a father. I tend to disagree, and I didn't want to just come here, as you know. I know people just come from these days, Double Nine. You always have your own way. You always have your own thing to say. I know. But I said, you know what? Let me bring someone who's an amazing pastor, who's a father to many, and a father to me as well. So, like, let me find out from him the spiritual aspect of it, and also what is the Bible saying. And also, we're going to look at questions all around as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you did mention earlier as well, we are on YouTube. You can follow us live on YouTube as well and engage with us on there as well. So, if you have any questions, do let us know, as you can call us directly on 07 074 956 36899. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. I mean, who's a father? Let's start with that simple question first. Who's a father from your perspective? Not the spiritual aspect of it now. Let's just talk about who is a father.
Yeah, a father is, first of all, a male figure
Okay.
that has the responsibility,
Yes.
authority,
Okay.
accountability, and the overall energy, the
Right.
custodian of the raising
Mm.
and the grooming and the development of a child
Wow. Wow. I mean, that
and of a home.
of a home as well. That is a packed answer there. I mean, I picked out a provider, a leader, someone who provides for a home, and someone who nurtures someone. I mean, that's an amazing definition there as well. But the thing is,
And because you said I shouldn't go spiritual, so I left the spiritual side of it,
yes,
because otherwise that's the place I would have loved to start.
okay. You know what? Do you know what? Okay, let's start from there because I'll take your lead on this because you're an amazing guest as well. So I mean, you've given us a definition, right, of who a father is: someone who nurtures, someone who leads, someone who takes care of a house, someone who makes sure everything within the confines of the home is taken care of. So I mean, from a spiritual aspect, so who is a father?
Number one, a father is someone who prays,
Okay.
who has the authority of praying through and receiving the blueprint of the life of his family, each child inclusive of the wife.
Wow.
A spiritual overarching authority. The problem with definitions is that words are not meanings. 99. Words are not meanings.
Yeah.
Phrases don't always convey the intention of the conversation.
Right.
That's the use of illustration, amplification, and teaching. So the way to explain fatherhood is to use different illustrations. And I'm sorry, my own reference is a scripture because scripture contains absolutely incredibly very brilliant moments of fatherhood. God the Father is the first father.
Yes.
But there is a particular scripture that exemplifies who fathers are. If you see the story between David and Solomon, his son,
Yes.
you will begin to see how fatherhood plays out. If you check the book of Psalms,
Yes.
people think that Solomon was the wisest king. People think that Solomon was the most brilliant guy and all of those things. Yes, that's true. But there is something that happened that influenced how Solomon turned out that every parent should want to listen to. How do you make your children turn out to be stellar, absolute children? How do you want your children? You would desire your children to be the very best of the very best.
Yes.
You will desire your children to be excellent children. You will desire your children to be great children. You are not satisfied with raising mediocres. Now, if you check Psalm 72, the secret of Solomon's excellence as a person is revealed because everything looks too surreal. He had a dream and from there became the wisest man. It's all too surreal. But you see, somebody did fatherhood to Solomon. Fatherhood happened to Solomon. Fatherhood happened to Solomon. The book of Psalm 72 contains the blueprint of Solomon's life. And David was the one praying for Solomon. The last verse of Psalm 72, verse 20, he said, "This concludes the prayers of David, the son of Jesse." Because these Psalms were not written in chronological order. There is a way they are classified. So this Psalm 72 is the last psalm. It said this concludes the prayers of David, the son of Jesse.
Right.
In that psalm, he was basically praying for his son, and he was describing accurately the picture of the preferred future of Solomon. So fathers are future determinants. They set the picture of the future of their children. He said, endow the king with your justice, O God, the royal son with your righteousness. May he judge your people in righteousness, your afflicted ones with justice. That's the first thing that Solomon did. That's the first thing the Bible said. And Solomon judged those two women, if you remember.
Yes.
And immediately was reputed to be the wisest king. That's the first miracle. That's the first sign that he was endowed.
Wow.
That's the first sign that he was endowed. That's the first thing, Solomon, Psalm 72, of the last prayers of King David. Verse 1 and 2 talks about judgment.
Yes.
And you will see the picture of the woman who was afflicted because her daughter, her baby was taken from her.
Wow.
And that's a direct answer to Psalm 72. That incident in Solomon's life
Yes.
is a direct answer to the prayers of King David in Psalm 72, verse 1 and 2. Endow the king with your justice, O God, the royal son with your righteousness. May he judge your people in righteousness, your afflicted ones with justice. That's the first that happened that established him. But the Bible said after that judgment, in the book of First Kings, I think First Kings, I think so. The Bible said, it's there like that. I won't paraphrase, but the Bible said, and his reputation,
yes,
was known and established as a wise king. After that incident, that was the first mark of genius in his life. The next thing, verse 3, may the mountains bring prosperity to the people, the hills the fruit of righteousness. The Bible said every man dwelt in peace under Solomon all the days of his life. Every man dwelt in peace,
yes,
from Dan to Bathsheba. That's the second prayer point. That's a very strong one.
it is.
That's a very strong one that literally showed up. He said, may he defend the afflicted among the people and save the children of the needy. May he crush the oppressor. May he endure as long as the sun and as long as the moon through all generations. There is no king as wise as Solomon today. Even though it's been established that some persons are probably greater than him, but it's clear that that prayer of verse 5 was answered. So fathers are the people who predetermine the destiny of the upcoming generation. May he endure as long as the sun. So if you want your children to become giants, you've got to become a father. So the fatherhood is a technology that creates phenomenal results on the earth. It's a divine intervention tool that contains an embodiment of skills, techniques, and spiritual capability that is able to turn an ordinary child into a citizen of greatness.
Amazing.
Those are the kinds of things that fatherhood does. And so when you see what happened to Solomon, he wasn't ordinary. His father prayed for him. That's all. He had the father who prayed for him.
He had a father who prayed for him.
Oh, yes. A lot of people are stunted because there are no praying fathers anymore. That's for another day.
I mean, that is such a powerful thing you just said. I mean, I feel enlightened. I feel I've just learned more things. But the thing is, you're quite right. Praying is a very important thing. But I want to come back to that shortly.
Yep.
The first point you make there, you said a father from the spiritual perspective is someone who has a blueprint, or who would pray to receive the blueprint and also
work to imprint the blueprints.
And work to improve the blueprint.
The blueprints in the life of the child.
In the life of the child. And also the blueprint of the mother and of your wife.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
I mean, blueprint. If you don't have the blueprint of something, you can't understand it. You don't know how to pray. You don't know what to say. You don't know.
You don't even know how the child should go. The Bible says, train a child the way he ought to go or the way he should go. So every child has a way he should go.
Yes.
Every child born on the earth has a divine agenda or a plan that God has for that child. So train a child the way he should go. In the Baptist church,
yes,
this was the scripture they used before they came us.
Yeah, before they came, yes.
They will tell us that the Bible says train a child the way he should go. So my friend, lie down. Then they give you 12 strokes of the cane. But that the way it should go, is actually a deep revelation of the pathway of the child.
Yes.
And you will see that, you will see that in the life of Samson.
Yes.
Not Ecclesiastes, the book of Judges, chapter 12, I think verse 13 thereabout.
Mm.
The Bible says that, and the angel appeared to Mrs. Manoah, the wife of Mr. Manoah, who was of the tribe of Levi, I think.
Yes.
And she was barren. And the angel told her and said, you give birth to a child, and told her a lot of things.
Mm.
The husband, when the wife got to the husband to tell the man,
Yes.
the man said, no. The angel, let him come and tell me.
Okay.
That's what the father said.
That's what I said, yeah.
He said, let him come and tell me.
Mm.
And when the angel came, Mr. Manoah asked a poignant question. He said, thank you, O angel.
Mm.
When these words come to pass, what will be the boy's rule of life?
Wow.
What will be his life's work? This is Ecclesiastes. So fathers receive blueprints with a bit to implement. That's the pattern you see in Mr. Manoah's life, and the same pattern you see in the life of Solomon. Every result, the word that was brought to Solomon by the Queen of Sheba,
yes,
was prayed for in Psalm 72. Is there?
Amazing.
He said, "May the wealth of Sheba be brought to him." And so fathers can pray through the seasons of a son's or daughter's life and create a force field of the child's destiny.
Wow. I mean, if you have a friend who's a father, do tell a friend to tell a friend. In case this case is, do tell a father to tell another father. Bring them on this live. Bring them online. If you're listening to us via just our online audio, or you're just watching it on YouTube, send it and share this, because there's revelation happening right now. Because he, our amazing Pastor David has just given us an insight into sometimes why some individuals, struggle in life sometimes. Because if a father is unaware of the blueprint and doesn't even know how to implement the blueprint of a son, the son might struggle because there's no person to guide him or put him forward as well. I mean, if we look at today's society, we've got to go back to the spirituality, but I think this is very connected to it as well. In this society now, there's a saying they always say, what, everyone can father a child, but not everyone can be a father to a child. I think
absolutely
this lens to this amazing revelation
absolutely
pastor's given us today, because someone who fathers a child, doesn't understand how to be a father to that child, and they just want to live their life. I mean, I saw on social media, it was like 2 weeks ago, about a gentleman who abandoned his child when he was 2 years old, and he came back when the guy was about 18, and tried to make amends, but the boy was having none of it. He walked away. For me, I can't judge that, but obviously he was hurt. He's hurt that his father was not there for him to guide and train him or give him advice when he needed it as well. I mean, we're talking about the blueprint of life.
Yep.
And also, Pastor David also mentioned the future determination.
Yes. A father is a prophetic intervention that is capable of shaping the outcomes and the seasons of the life of their sons and daughters. That's who a father is.
Yes.
Fatherhood is a deep science given by God Almighty. And you see, when fathers are also preservers.
Yes.
How come the angel appeared to Joseph when they were to take Jesus to Egypt?
Yeah.
How come he didn't give Mary that instruction? You see, fathers are the ones that God downloads deep intention. See, the angels told Mary many things, just like Mrs. Manoah too. The angel said many things.
Yes. But
however, and you see, mothers also preserve, but fathers preserve a certain way, mothers preserve another way. When the battle was intense for Solomon to become the king, the mother went to the father. That woman went to King David and said, "You told me that my son will become king in your stead. His brothers who are stronger than him are now struggling for the throne." And the Bible said, and David summoned all Israel and installed Solomon as the king. And in the eyes of all Israel, and told everybody to hail him. Right? And the Bible said, so therefore King David saw his son
His
on
son
the throne.
on the throne.
And God now bestowed upon Solomon such royal majesty and splendor, so that there was no king before him
Wow.
and after him. He said God bestowed upon him such royal majesty and splendor before then, and God magnified Solomon in the eyes of all Israel. So God put the binoculars in the eyes of all Israel, so that Solomon was very big, and bestowed upon him such royal majesty and splendor, so that there was no king before or after him. You see, why King David did that installation in the physical,
Yes.
he had also done Psalm 72 behind the scenes. That's his last prayer.
Wow.
Which was to pray through the destiny. Each of the verses in Psalm 72 came to pass graphically in Solomon's life. Graphically. Graphically. That is, the pictures, the scenarios played out in his life.
You know, thank you, sir, for sharing that. You know, what I'm gathering for what you're saying to me today, because like a lot of people, yes, we know the mother's prayer is very important in a child's life.
Yep.
With mothers praying.
And much has been said about the mother's prayer, to the point that I think it has been abused.
Yeah, you know, a lot of you know, importance is given to that. But here we see that, you know what, the father's presence is quite important as well. The father's presence in a child's life is so important, because as our pastor rightly said there, that, you know what, the father, praying father, is able to download the blueprint of his family, understand how to make that feature determination to ensure his child or his children get to experience the actual you know, glory, and also get into their destiny, basically.
Yes.
You know, so in a society today, we kind of see a lot of like single parent moms growing up. Yes, single parent moms, it's not easy. It's not easy. It can be quite challenging. Possibly some stats out there would say you know, children from you know, single parent homes have a higher chance of you know, involved in crime, involved in you know, really not so you know, pleasant things. Not saying all of them do, but statistics show that. And we can see, you know, linking it back to the spirituality of it, because if there's no father in play, we talk about role models, we'll come back to that shortly as well. But we talk about understanding the blueprint of a family, understanding how you you know, determine the future of your child. A present father, a praying present father, not just a present father, a praying
interceding father. Very important.
Is able,
a father that interrogates signals. Signals. When signals come about your children, you interrogate it. I mean, the angel told Mrs. Manoah, and there are many fathers who have outsourced prayer to mothers. They say, your mom is going to a crusade, your mom is one doing prayer. And when many of us were growing up, that was the way it was. But you see, in the scriptural pattern of fatherhood, Manoah said, angel, welcome. You have been talking to my wife about the future of this boy. So please, when he is born, I want to look for that scripture. I think it's Judges chapter 12 or 13, Judges 13 verse 12, something like that. He said, excuse me, sir, when the boy is born, what will be his rule of life?
So is that outsourced? Is that how?
Yes, the woman said verse 6, Judges 13 verse 6.
Yes.
He said, then the woman went to her husband and told him, a man of God came to me. He looked like an angel of God, very awesome. I didn't ask him where he came from, and he didn't tell me his name. But he said to me, you become pregnant and have a son. Many men will be so excited. My wife can hear God. That's the end of it. You'll be praying.
You'll be praying.
Now then, drink no wine or other fermented drink, and do not eat anything unclean. So there's the motherhood responsibility and consecration, because the boy will be a Nazarite from God from the womb until the day of his death. Then Manoah prayed. Manoah went to the Lord in prayer. Excuse me, sir. Pardon your servant. Excuse me, sir. I am adding, excuse me, sir. I said, pardon your servant. Excuse me, sir. Lord, I beg you to let the man of God you sent to us come back again to teach us how to bring up the boy who is to be born. Mothers are rejoicing that the child is about to be born. They are happy with all there's somebody's responsibility to be asking questions about how should we raise him? What will he be doing? God heard Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman while she was out in the field. But her husband Manoah was not with her. The woman hurried. She went to call her husband. He's here, the man who appeared to me the other day. Manoah got up and followed his wife. When he came to the man, he said, "Are you the man who talked to my wife?" Yeah, that's what the angel said. So Manoah asked him, "When your words are fulfilled, what is to be the rule that governs the boy's life and work?" Let me look for other translations of that Judges chapter 13. The question Mr. Manoah asked, Judges chapter 13, verse 12. If the angel said, "Your wife must do all I've told, she must not eat anything," Manoah said to the angel, "We would like you to stay until you pay a young goat for you, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
But the point is, the mother's reportage was not enough for Manoah. No. Manoah asked his own questions. So how should we raise the boy?
Yes.
What will be his life's work? Who will he be? How should we? Let me look for other translations.
Interrogate
the future of your child.
Trying to understand, okay, they said this child is coming. What is it that we need to do to ensure he achieves his destiny?
Absolutely.
Which is very, very important.
Absolutely.
As well. I mean, my next question was going towards the part of how to prepare to be a father, how to prepare to be a spiritual father, how to prepare, because now we have the next generation coming up.
Yep.
Most of them, social media is taking over.
Yep.
A lot of lives is what they see on social media. They want to focus on, and they forget that social media is just as a facade, because you don't know what happens when the camera is off.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
So we're hoping to maybe guide and let them know, this is how you prepare to be a father. This is the steps you need to do. I mean, we've identified that a praying father is able to receive the blueprint of his children, of his family, also be able to determine the future of the family, and also intercede on behalf of the child. But someone listening now is saying to me, Double9, I hear all these things. I'm planning to be a father in maybe a couple of years' time. My prayer life is not it's okay, it's not super duper. How do I improve? How do I prepare to be a father?
First of all, you must have interaction with your soul yourself. There are many fathers who are accidental fathers.
Wow. Yeah.
And so there's a difference between a male, someone with semen and testosterone, and the urge to impregnate someone. That's one.
Yeah.
And that is just biology. Beyond biology, you must have mental awareness. For example, the questions Manoah was asking was a question of a man who had awareness. The Manoah asked, when your words come true, what will be the boy's responsibilities and mission? If you don't have self-awareness, you can't. Someone that has no self-awareness does not know the question to ask for anybody or she's responsible for. They are not being wicked. That person doesn't have awareness. So this absenteeism, because there are also present fathers who are also male, but they are not fathers. So inside one container, there's the man and there's the father.
Yes.
At some point, you must be more father than male.
Wow.
Now, so we have the category within the black race, particularly.
Yeah.
The total number of men in jail who are totally absent, plenty.
Is it quite a lot?
It's a big. Yeah. So we have an over-mothered society.
Yes.
And it shows when people argue on social media, logic, there is no male presence.
Yes.
And for everybody touting women that are raising women that they're both father and mother and all of those things that's happening around womenhood and all the feminine energy. And please forgive me because I know this is a sensitive topic now.
Yeah.
Remember that you are raising another father.
Yes.
You are raising a male who become a father one day. Be careful how you paint and you raise that guy. So let me return back to the conversation. So we have an over-mothered generation, an emotional and fickle, highly emotional, fickle race, because motherhood is rooted in some things like that. Now, but that's a statement that could be hung up on. Somebody can face me and say, why did you say that? But that's for another day.
Yeah.
What's the bigger point? The bigger point is that you must be a complete person. I mean, you must understand the essence. You see, the kind of question Manoah asked showed that he was a self-aware man.
Yeah.
And Manoah said, now, when your words come true, what is to be the child's manner of life?
Asking those questions,
and his life mission.
Yes.
You must be a father that has concept. Your ability in awareness must be above 90 over 100. You must be you must not be a confused drunkard. You must be within the limit of your capacity as a person.
Yes.
Now, Manoah said, now let your words come to pass. How shall we order the child and how shall we do unto him? That's a responsible person. That's a person that has a sense of mission. While the woman is rejoicing about all the download, he's asking practical questions about the raising of the child. So there are many people who grew up. Oh, so there are 3 categories. There are those who blow, and that's like we. They just come and then they just boom, which is the spirit of this generation. Then there's a second category, which is I grew or I grew, which is also good.
Yeah.
But it's a second category.
Yeah.
When you are raised, when you are raised,
Yes.
there is some acculturation. There are boundaries. There is a propping towards a direction. There is a plotting. There is some energy that serves as upper limit and lower limit to guide the vibrations and the landing of your energy as a human being. That one requires a level of driver capacity, strategic thinking. But that is at the second level. At the first level, you must be an aware person. The kind of question somebody is asking. Look at Manuel, another translation, Message Bible. So when what you say comes through, what do you have to tell us about the boy and his work? The boy and his work. Because it's coming in baby form does not excuse us from understanding the way it should go.
Yes, yes.
If you don't even understand language and context and meaning, so that you can frame the coming generations question, because these children will be the answer to tomorrow's challenges.
It is.
They are the sustenance of the planet.
Yes.
Manoah said, now when your words come to pass, what shall be the boy's mode of life and his vocation? NIV, what is to be the rule that governs the boy's life and work? Now, New King James, what will be the boy's rule of life and his work? Fathers are people that receive the blueprint of rule of life and work.
Amazing. Amazing.
What kind of rules should govern the boy's life and work in NLT? What is to be the boy's rule of life? And what is he to do? So there's rule of life. So repeatedly, different translations, the basic English Bible, what is to be the rule for the child and what to be his work? Every child, and including your wife and yourself, have the rule of life and their life's work. Fathers are the people who receive that blueprint and begin to use as arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, not woman.
Not women, yes.
But we can.
We know we're not going against women. Just pointing out.
Don't let's start that fight.
Yes.
Because some will say that refers to both male and female. That's fine.
Yes, fine, yes.
But as arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so the man must be mighty. So are the children born in one's youth. So the man must be mighty. It takes some level of might to raise and prepare for that. So you must groom your personal might.
Groom your personal might.
And might is inner strength, inner tenacity, inner grit, inner resilience. A man must have the rigor of think through, because your children, especially male children, will tempt your inner grit. They will argue complex arguments with you.
I mean, nowadays.
You know, they're going to ask you difficult questions.
Yes.
So you can't afford to be fickle or weak or flimsy in your inner togetherness. And that leads into how men are raising themselves. Few men have coaches. Few men have personal development time. They just make money and they make bills. Women also have contributed into making men, what do you call them now? Bill-paying devices.
Bill-paying devices.
Men are domestic bill-paying devices, and many women also want to ring fence, including the family of the wives, want to ring fence and remove the inner strength of men. There are systems removing the inner might of men. Because of abuse, how some men have been abusive in the past. There's a whole womenish gang up, permit me, to reduce the strength,
masculinity,
the inner might of men. That combination must never, ever be allowed to reign supreme in the cause of humanity. We must change the tide as believers. Very important.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, that last point you made there, turning a man to a bill-paying device, and domesticating the man. So our mothers are out there as well. I think you'll have some work to do as well, because if you're trying to imagine that you have a son at some point as well.
Yep.
It's like this is what you're training your son to be.
Yep.
You know, you don't want your son becoming a bill paying device, do you?
Yep.
You want it to be a man, the leader of the house,
Does it?
the one that receives the blueprint
Does
and
it?
determines the future of his own family.
Does it?
So, as a woman as well, you want to help your husband, the father of the house, and give him that opportunity. But I love the fact also you mentioned there when we asked the question, how do you prepare to be a father?
Yeah.
The first key thing you mentioned there is self-awareness.
Yep.
You have to be self-aware.
Yep.
You know, you have to understand that, you know what, life is changing.
Yep.
Something is changing around you.
Yep.
And how do you become self-aware? Open your mind,
Yep.
learn from the right places, not
Yep.
social media, not what your friends are saying.
Yep.
Have a one-to-one conversation with God.
Yep.
Have that conversation.
You must have a prayer life.
You must have a prayer life. You know, whatever religion you're into, have that prayer life. Have that engagement with your Creator as well. Be more than a father than a male. Reduce the male, because the male in us, we want to be aggressive. We want to be on top. We want to be showing that we're doing this, we're doing that. But our father, as our amazing pastor described earlier, is someone who leads, who nurtures, who provides, who ensures that, you know, everyone within the family is secure.
Yep.
You know, the male side is moved away. Again, you know what, we men, yes, we're not saying we're perfect. Sometimes we err on the side of error, and that's why we have a woman there to help us and guide us on that way. So again, I mean, I'm stressing again on that bill payment domestication. I mean, because we look at this country, basically here in the UK, we have a lot of people who've come over as well from you know, other African countries who've come to settle from a different culture and all of that. And you know, there's a huge shock on how the system is, you know, and how you engage with your child. I don't condone you know, smacking or things like that. I mean, I think that there are various ways in how you can discipline a child, you know. But you know, there's a huge culture change because your kids come here. The way you engage with them back home was a bit different. You hear now that they're in secondary school, there's social media, they're learning quite a number of things. As a father, this is what we call the self-awareness part of it as well, because you now be aware that you're now in a different environment. How are you going to now manage to ensure the destiny of that child is not aborted by
the change environment?
Because of the change environment.
How do you ensure that this culture does not swallow?
Exactly. Does not swallow what God has told you, because you can receive the blueprint, but the blueprint has not come into a different environment,
into a different context than the one that you have the capacity.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, so it's almost like you're preparing to be a father again. You're going back to learn.
Yes.
You're becoming more self-aware that, oh wow, things have changed now.
Yes.
How do I get back into this?
Yes, the truth is that fatherhood never ends. You must develop a personal development curriculum at a rate faster than the rate of the need or the challenge in the society. If you're a migrant in an economy like this, you must develop development plans. You must have your own personal development plans. That might include you joining cycling clubs, learning a second language, learning the new language of your children, having systems in place to teach your children new skills. I mean, mothers are far more present because they build their own life and their recreation into the calendar of their children naturally. Men must also begin to do same. And like I said, every man must have a grip on himself. I mean, you seldom see men saying they are going for to take care of themselves, have a pedicure or manicure, or you know, or go to men's evening out, or go to a trip, get someone to train. Many men don't have personal development plans. Many men, women have. Women have their own meter. Women pay attention to their souls more. I mean, when you're selling a course, when you're selling your trainer, when you're selling courses, just look at the class.
I agree. With that, is it more of an ego thing, or is it because we're so you know, engrossed in trying to provide for the family?
It's both. It's both. It's both. That's also why men don't have time to interrogate the spiritual about the life of their children. They don't pray enough. Mr. Manuel asks detailed questions. What would be the boy's rule of life? How must we raise him? What will be his rule of life, and what do we need to begin to prepare? We have men who now are too busy making a living,
Yeah.
and they're not interrogating the strategic big picture. It's coming back to bite you.
Yeah.
So the truth is, and then being cosmopolitan or life in the cities has its effect. We spend more hours in traffic, and one of the rare blessings of COVID is that fathers returned home.
Yes.
A lot of fathers now, I mean, officially, once or twice in a week minimum, you are home.
You're home, yeah.
For many people, but we didn't need to have waited for COVID for us to have that culture shift or change.
100%.
Many men need to be more involved in the lives of their children,
Yeah.
especially at strategic levels.
Yeah. I mean, the point, I love the point you've made this evening. Talking about, first of all, not making your father in the house a big playing device. Please listen. That's very important.
Yes.
It is very important. Not domesticating that. Yes, sometimes, we fathers as well, we should help out in the house when we can. It's very important.
Yes.
But the last point you made about ensuring that a father adapts to the environment.
Oh yes,
it's very key.
Knowing, recognizing that you are a migrant, and there's a level of socio-cultural intelligence that you don't have.
Yes.
There's a context of the new economy that you don't have.
And
you're going to raise children.
Yeah.
God bless you in that new economy.
Yes.
You have to find a way of bridging that gap.
Yes. I think it's not only, I think, this point you made, I'm going to have a lot of, mother fans out there. Hello. Because it's not only the children part aspect of it.
Oh, generally. You first, and then for your children.
And for your children, and also for your partner.
And also for your partner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, men, we're so used to possibly the way you were back in Africa.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want to bring it over here. It's fine. The way of living
is different.
It's very different. Going to work is very regimented. Taking the children to nursery and trying to make food for the family. I'm talking about women here as well. It's that self-awareness, bring it back to it.
Yep.
Self-awareness of, okay, you know what? I'm the leader.
Yep.
Now things have changed. We're in a different society, we're in a different economy as well. Because if we don't start with our self-awareness, it actually then reflects back on the children.
Yep.
Because now the children feel that they're in a society where they can ask some questions.
Yep.
Some questions they might not even have had the I don't want to call it the maybe the confidence to ask you then. Now they want to start asking you questions. And if they can start asking you questions, that means they can observe the environment. So if they start seeing certain things in the house, maybe some arguments are happening, some things are happening, now the children can go to school and have conversations with the teachers at school. So again,
and if you don't answer their question, somebody is going to give them an answer you don't like.
Wow! Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing. That I have to clap for Pastor there, because you're right. Because if you don't give them the question, the answer to the question, someone else will answer that question.
Somebody is going to give them the answers you don't want. And there's no, you're in a society where knowledge is democratized. There's no inhibition. I mean, there's no bookshop where a 14, 15-year-old can buy majority of the materials. They will walk into a bookshop and buy a book. They will sell it to them. I mean, I was in many years ago, I was in I think this is Exeter, and then I passed by a bookshop, and we saw teenagers, 13, 14, 15, in the voodoo and witchcraft book session.
Wow.
Teenagers, young boys and girls, and there were love charms. There's books about how to cast love charms, understanding love charms and how they work. Loads of books are in every, and they are affordable: £7, £10, £12, £3, £5. The teenagers I saw were clustered in that corner.
Because it's answers, isn't it?
Knowledge is democratized.
Yeah, they're looking for answers. They've probably seen something on TV.
And they have needs. They got a girl or a boy they are crushing on.
Yes.
And they want the person to also crush back
on them. And they think,
go buy a book in the supermarket that's on the bookstore and it's open.
Exactly.
And so many of them have Amazon accounts. because they know you probably check their Amazon account, they go buy the physical book.
Mm.
So you won't see the issue of their purchase anyhow. They'll buy it and they will start reading
Wow.
and they'll start practicing. And right under your roof, you can begin to have a whole sorcerer.
Mm.
You are developing a whole witch.
Hey, you're not even aware. Again, it's about giving them the answers to the questions they have.
Absolutely. And then you see, one of the things I've noticed in the West here is that anyhow we think about it, we need fatherhood. So fatherhood is not only about the physical children you're giving birth to.
Mm.
We need communities that have fatherhood as a culture.
Mm.
Fatherhood needs to grow from being an individual intervention to a communal effort. And there are many dispositions I've seen. You call for prayer meetings, you call for learning and development meetings, you call for personal development meetings. Men seldom come. Free, excuse me, free, they won't come. Bloody free, they won't be there. You're wondering, why are you not coming? Why are you not? They won't come. Very sad. I don't know why.
It is. It's quite scary. You know, because when you talk about those questions, I want to ask, you know, regarding the fathers and the say was, well, just want to bring back, you know, questions children are asking.
Yep.
If you don't give them answers, someone else will give them an answer.
Yep.
And what Pastor's saying there is not literally just someone giving them an answer; it's the society
Giving them an answer you don't want them to have.
Yeah, is the social media, because a lot of things are, you know, are put in cartoons and music videos, in shows. They say it's you know, the age. There are a lot of subtle messages being passed in there.
A lot of very subtle messages. So we can't have absentee fathers. And it's serious when majority, there is statistic within the Black community, like I said earlier, that shows that we have about 70 to 80%, if not more, incidents of absent fathers for different reasons. The one that is disturbing are the bad reasons, like proper jail. We have people who their mothers are the only ones who are at home taking care of the children. The fathers have gone to jail. And this is a very big problem within the African race.
It is.
Within the Black pigment, not Africa alone, including the Caribbeans, the United States, all over the world. It's a big problem.
It is. It is a huge problem, you know, because we have a lot of absent fathers. In some, I mean, we use the UK, for example, you know, in some regions, we look at, you know, places across South, East, West, we find that a lot of single mothers out there, you know, raising kings by themselves. But the thing is, how do they successfully raise a child? Yes, they can, but as data has shown, as statistics has shown, they're more susceptible to joining, you know, the bad gangs. That's answering those questions.
Absolutely.
That the mother couldn't answer.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And
because why do they join gangs? So protection. It's for community. Sense of belonging.
Sense of belonging, yes.
So if a father is absent and is not there, then there'll be serious problems. Anyhow you look at it, somebody's going to offer that protection for you. Fathers are something else I didn't have the time to say. Fathers are also affirmators. Mothers are natural affirmators. Fathers are the amplifying affirmators. It's always different when your dad tells you, I'm proud of you. I know you can do it. It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
If your mother says it's good. It's also a good feeling.
It is a good feeling.
But you cannot underemphasize the level of psycho-emotional capital that you get from a father's affirmation. It's huge.
It is. Because, I mean, you feel proud. You know, my dad came. You know, my dad did this. You know, you have that pride in talking about your father who's come to be by your side. But I mean, I want to bring this to light a bit. I'm sure maybe some of my listeners are thinking about it. As I mentioned, the phone lines are open if you do want to engage a man of God here, Pastor David, ask any questions. Number is 074 956 36899. You can call us direct on the number or send a WhatsApp, or actually call via WhatsApp as well. We're also live on YouTube as well. All you need to do is just search for Double9radio, all one word, and you'll find us live broadcasting on YouTube as well. I mean, we've covered quite a number of things, and we've highlighted the need and importance of a father. Not just anyone, a father who is there in a child's life to help that child, grow and also achieve the God-given destiny as well, because God has given the blueprint to the father, a praying father, in this case. But I mean, I'm sure people ask, the church is a great body. We still see some of those issues happening in church, where we see, parents who usually got married in church, and they end up being divorced, and alienating the children, and the children get blamed, the children suffer all of that. Are we saying that most of these fathers who go through this divorce and then church, they let that spiritual life decline away, or what is happening to this?
No, divorce is another ballgame entirely. And marriages are going through different kind of challenges, and you can't legislate based on another man's failure. You can't say, oh, it's because they are not spiritual, or it's because they don't know, or it's because you can't say anything until you are in their shoes, and it's a case by case analysis.
Wow.
There's no summarizing when it comes to divorce. It's a case by case analysis. So there's some summary and some research causative, correlations.
Yeah.
But trying to clear my nose there.
No problem.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
By the end of the day, you must realize that the individual issues are big. I told you earlier on that there are whole systems and faculties that are trying to reduce men into bill-paying devices. There are whole systems that they're trying to whittle the might of men with the wittiness of women, the witty intelligence of women.
Yeah.
He's been used to deliberately whittle down the strength of the inner might of many men.
Wow.
Number two, there are significant in-law problems. There are whole institutions of mothers-in-laws, brothers-in-law, and fathers-in-law, sisters-in-laws who are also playing out on the man.
Wow.
And vice versa, by the way.
Yeah.
So this can exist in the man's family.
In man's family too. Yeah.
But there are forces, very strong forces, that are playing when it comes to divorce. And being in church or in mosque or an Hindu worshipper does not exonerate anybody. All marriages anyway, at the end of the day, especially once you cross year 5 to 6 to 7, you're juggling something. But at the end of the day, what matters is if the two partners can focus, because you got loads of heavy issues that causes divorce. It's not even first of all, it's a spiritual problem of another kind.
I think we definitely have to get you on the show and talk about that in more detail. I mean, it's been a very open eye opener, I should say, for me today. To understand the deeper meaning and the deeper role a father plays, not just in the children's life, but in the woman's life as well, the partner's life within, and the family in general. It's been a very exciting eye opener for me here. And we also talk about the society. I think that was very important, about children asking those questions and you give them answers there. But I mean, just before we end the show, I mean, from your perspective, Pastor David, every father that's listening now and thinking to myself and doubting themselves, have I got it wrong? Have I done it right?
Yeah.
What else am I not doing?
Yep.
My family, how can I improve them? How can I empower them more? What would you say to them?
Encourage yourself. Encourage yourself.
Encourage yourself.
Number 2, you need a support system. Get a coach. There are many men who have not had one training, one personal awareness, capacity building training in the past 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, 15, 20 something years. You've been married, you got no one coach. And the wife has gotten 3 or 4 coaches, gone for 4 or 5 courses. You understand? There are many things men should do. Men should hang out more with men with similar values.
Yeah.
Get a cycling club, get a lawn tennis club, join a boat riding club, learn a second language, go for hiking, develop yourself as a man, take care of your health. And that's another thing. Men are dying too early, too fast, too quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Men need to live long too.
Mm.
And there's also one thing I've been trying not to say, the weaponization of children by women against men.
Yeah. Yeah. We do see that quite often, don't we?
Men weaponize children, say your father has gone out all day, he's not taking care of you, and you don't tell them the day he does good. And gradually begin to paint a picture on the soul of the child like their father is responsible. But the day he did good, we didn't tell them anything.
Didn't tell them, mothers, hope you're listening,
yeah. and gradually, even onto old age, then you now have this affinity and closeness with the mother that the father doesn't have. The father must work on the bond between him and his children too.
Amazing.
And lastly, fatherhood is a communal responsibility.
Communal responsibility.
Yes.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. As that, great insight there. Get yourself coached up, get yourself, improve and expand your knowledge.
Yep.
Try and engage right-minded people as well. This is what the church is there for. All your friends that actually are like-minded, who are also fathers as well. Form a group. Start like a boat riding group, or cycling group, or tennis. Do something fun, do something engaging, because you know what, you can't do it all by yourself, because it's a community thing. You learn from each other as well. And also the point that Pastor David mentioned there about weaponizing children against the fathers, mothers. Let's rethink that, because these children are your children as well, and you want the best for them as well. Work together with the father in your household, with your husband. Work together to make sure that the best is achieved by this, by your parent, by your kids as well, because you know what, there are kings and queens being raised for tomorrow.
Yep.
I mean, Pastor David, it's been amazing having you on the show today. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize that we had to start a bit late with technical issues as well. Before we go, Pastor, I know you do a bit of coaching as well, and I think you have a program coming up soon as well.
Yes. Within the next 2 weeks, if you check all my social media handles, it will come up. We're doing something for men, men of valor, men of excellence.
You need this.
And also from there, we're going to dovetail into coaching men, because there's a lot going on. Men are going through heavy pressure. And men don't talk. Men go through pain. Men also cry, but they don't talk to no one.
Exactly.
And they soak the pressure and keep soaking and keep soaking. It's worse of when they are Christian men, they don't have anybody to talk to. And so very painful journey. So we're doing all of that to help and to actually bring men to the point where they're able to, be more than just men and be fathers.
Amazing. So when is it? 2 weeks? 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, 2 weeks from now, thereabouts. It's going to be a Saturday.
Okay.
Most likely.
And was it going to be online, or?
Yeah, totally online.
It's going to be online as well. And again, it's free to join for now. You're free to join. Take the opportunity to join as well. Make sure if you go on Double9radio Instagram page, his handle is actually tagged on the flyers and also in the description of for today's show as well. I mean, it's been amazing. It's been wonderful to have the amazing Pastor David here with us. As I mentioned earlier as well, he's also leads the Apex prayer line, which happens on a daily basis. That's 12:30 p.m. Yeah. Is it a.m. or p.m.? I think
that's 12:30 a.m.
12:30 a.m. GMT every day. You can follow them on Apex, just apostolic prophetic
encounters for excellence.
Prophetic encounters for excellence on YouTube. Just set Apex and it will come up as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been amazing to have our pastor here today. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Again, I do apologize on the delay for us starting the show today, but it's been amazing. It's been wonderful. As you rightly pointed out, fathers are very important in a child's life. Fathers are also important in the woman's life, but fathers, most importantly, should be self-aware. Be more than the male. You want to raise the children, not just give birth to them, because you know what, you can pray and commune with our Creator, Jehovah, and He can give you the blueprint of that child and how you're going to, implement that blueprint to ensure your child has a bright future ahead of them. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful. It's been Mechanic Expression Sunday, which one and only Double Nine, with our amazing guest here today, Pastor David. Yes, thank you, Pastor David. It's been amazing having you on the
Thank you
show.
so much for having me. I appreciate every single minute of the conversation.
Thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow us on our Instagram page as well. And make sure you do tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, as you know, we're all broadcasting live on YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch up with our live shows, and also follow to know that, you know what, when we upload it or when we've done a show as well. That's Double9radio and on YouTube. And again, I want to say a big thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'm sure